Most truck buyers think any brand name will hold value. But what if I told you that 15 specific trucks are hemorrhaging thousands of dollars right now, and most owners have no idea it's happening? Trucks that look like solid investments in the showroom, but are quickly turning into financial disasters. In this video, we've got the 15 trucks losing value fastest before 2026, ranked from number 15 to number 1, based on depreciation data and mechanical analysis. And trust me, some of these choices will shock you. From discontinued models to catastrophic engine failures, these trucks are riddled with problems that'll destroy your resale value. And here's the kicker. The number 1 truck on this list is so bad, the manufacturer completely gave up and stopped making it. Stick with me to the end, because this isn't just a ranking, it's a warning to anyone thinking about buying or selling these models. Miss this, and you could be stuck with a truck that loses half its value while you're still making payments. Let's start from number 15 and work our way down to the absolute worst performer. Each position represents thousands of dollars in lost value, and the gap between number 15 and number 1 is staggering. Number 15, Chevrolet Silverado and GMC Sierra, 2500 and 3500 HD. Heavy-duty trucks usually hold their value better than their light-duty counterparts. The logic makes sense. These are work trucks. They're built tougher, they last longer, and businesses depend on them. The Silverado 3500 HD is projected to lose only about 30% after 5 years, which sounds decent on the surface. But here's where the math gets brutal. 30% of an $80,000 truck is $24,000. That's not a percentage problem anymore. That's a serious cash problem that affects loan equity and trade-in values. These HD models face massive absolute dollar losses, and they carry the same reliability issues as their light-duty siblings. The V8 engines in these trucks use GM's Dynamic Fuel Management System, and that system has a documented history of catastrophic lifter failures. When those lifters fail, they don't fail gracefully. They take the camshaft with them, and you're looking at a complete engine replacement that can easily exceed $10,000 at a dealership. The used market knows this information intimately. Buyers shopping for used HD trucks aren't naive. They factor in the cost of a potential engine rebuild before they even make an offer, and they discount accordingly. Add in the high cost of diesel maintenance, the expensive replacement parts that come with HD ratings, and the reality that these trucks are often used hard in commercial applications. And you've got a vehicle that bleeds value faster than it should despite its heavy-duty credentials. Number 14, Nissan Frontier. The Frontier received a major redesign recently, which should help its value proposition considerably. It didn't. This truck is projected to lose 39.6% of its value after 5 years. Now compare that to the Toyota Tacoma, which loses only 26.3% over the same period. That's a 13 percentage point gap, and in the mid-sized truck segment where margins are tight and competition is fierce, that gap is absolutely devastating to owners. The Frontier isn't a bad truck by any objective measure. It's competitive on paper. The specs look good. The reviews are generally positive. The pricing is attractive when you're buying new. But the market has spoken with cold clarity, and what it's saying is brutally simple. When buyers want a mid-sized truck that holds value, they buy a Tacoma. When they want something different or can't find a Tacoma, they might consider a Frontier. But that's a position of weakness, not strength. Number 13, Lincoln Nautilus. Lincoln as a brand retains only 46.5% of its value, making it one of the worst luxury brands for resale in the entire industry. The Nautilus is a mid to large crossover that simply cannot compete with German and Japanese luxury rivals when it comes to holding value. This isn't a new problem for Lincoln. The brand has struggled with resale values for years, and the Nautilus exemplifies everything wrong with their market position. The problem isn't necessarily the vehicle itself. The Nautilus is well-equipped, comfortable, and reasonably well-built. The problem is the badge on the front. Lincoln doesn't command the same resale premium as Lexus, Acura, or even Cadillac in many segments. The brand lacks the prestige that luxury buyers demand, and more importantly, that used luxury buyers demand when they're shopping 3 or 4 years down the line. The Nautilus is explicitly cited in depreciation reports as a model facing rapid value loss, and its high MSRP means that depreciation hits in big dollar amounts that shock original owners. When you're paying $50,000 or more for a luxury crossover, you expect it to hold value reasonably well. Lincoln buyers don't get that expectation met. Number 12. Infiniti QX80. Infinity's brand residual value sits at 37.9%, meaning owners lose 62.1% of their investment over 5 years. That's not just bad, that's catastrophic. The QX80 is a full-size luxury SUV built on the older Nissan Armada platform, which immediately makes it technologically obsolete compared to modern rivals from Cadillac, Lincoln, and the German brands. But here's where the situation deteriorates from bad to worse. Nissan is launching a completely redesigned Armada for 2026. When that new model hits showrooms with updated styling, modern technology, fresh interiors, and a platform that's competitive with current market standards, every QX80 currently on the road becomes instantly outdated. Not gradually outdated over several years. Instantly outdated the moment the new Armada appears in a dealership. The market will react immediately and without mercy. Current QX80 models that might be worth $45,000 today could drop to $38,000 or less virtually overnight once the new model arrives and comparisons start happening. Owners of 2021 through 2024 models are sitting on rapidly depreciating assets, and there's nothing they can do to stop it. They can't prevent Nissan from launching the new model. They can't change the market's perception. They can't make their QX80 modern again. Number 11. Cadillac Escalade. The Escalade is the poster child for the luxury warranty cliff, and it's about to demonstrate exactly what that means for thousands of owners. These trucks start at over $80,000, and the loaded models with every option can push past $100,000. That's serious money. That's luxury car territory. That's an investment that buyers expect to hold value reasonably well. GM's factory warranty covers 4 years or 50,000 miles. When 2021 models cross that warranty threshold in 2025 and 2026, their values drop by over $20,000 in a single year. Why does this happen with such predictable brutality? Because the Escalade uses the same V8 engine with dynamic fuel management that plagues the Silverado and Sierra. Once that warranty expires, buyers are on the hook for potential lifter failures, and the repair costs on a luxury platform are even higher than on a standard truck. Luxury parts cost more by design. Labor rates at Cadillac dealerships are higher. The complexity of luxury systems means more things can go wrong and more expensive things can fail. The market prices this risk with mathematical precision. Used Escalade buyers aren't stupid. They know about the DFM issues. They know about the warranty cliff. They know that buying a 4-year-old Escalade means accepting the risk of a 5-figure repair bill at any moment. So they discount accordingly, and current owners watch their 6-figure investments lose value at an alarming rate that accelerates once that warranty expires. Before we continue, if you're finding this information valuable and want to make smarter decisions about your next vehicle purchase, subscribe to the channel. We break down the real financial picture behind every major vehicle on the market, and we don't pull punches when manufacturers get it wrong. Number 10. Toyota Tundra with iForce V6. This one surprises people, and that surprise tells you everything about how dramatically Toyota stumbled with this generation. Toyota trucks are legendary for holding their value. The Tundra has historically been a resale champion, second only to the Tacoma in the Toyota truck lineup. But the 2022 and 2023 model years are exceptions. And the reason is deeply concerning for anyone who bought one expecting traditional Toyota reliability. Toyota completely redesigned the Tundra for 2022, introducing the new iForce V6 engine to replace the beloved V8. This new generation has stumbled badly on initial quality in ways that Toyota simply doesn't stumble. Build quality concerns emerged immediately. Infotainment systems developed glitches. And most importantly, a major engine recall is looming over the base V6 engine, creating uncertainty that kills resale values. The market is reacting with speed and severity. These specific model years are losing value faster than previous Tundras because buyers are factoring in the recall uncertainty and quality doubts. When a Toyota has reliability questions, that's not just a red flag. That's a fundamental break from what made the brand valuable in the first place. Toyota's entire value proposition is built on reliability and longevity. Remove that foundation, and the premium pricing can't be justified. Number 9, Ford Expedition. The Expedition is a full-size SUV built on Ford's truck platform, and it's plagued by pervasive reliability issues that have been documented across multiple model years. Engine stalling at low speeds that creates dangerous situations in traffic. Excessive oil consumption that requires constant monitoring and top-offs. Recurring fuel system problems that leave owners stranded. And chronic AC and climate control failures that make these vehicles miserable in summer heat. These aren't minor inconveniences that you can ignore or work around. These are expensive, recurring problems that dramatically impact the total cost of ownership. When you're buying a used Expedition, you're not just buying a vehicle with 7 or 8 seats and truck-based capability. You're buying the statistical risk of thousands in repair bills, and that risk is well documented across owner forms, reliability surveys, and service records. The used market understands this reality perfectly. Expedition values are heavily discounted to attract buyers willing to absorb that repair risk. The discount has to be deep enough to cover the expected costs over the next few years of ownership, which means current owners are taking massive hits on depreciation just to move these vehicles. A well-maintained Expedition with low miles should command a premium. Instead, it sells at a discount because the mechanical reputation overrides individual vehicle condition. Number 8, Ford F-150 Hybrid. The standard F-150 loses about 37.9% of its value, which is decent for a full-size truck in the current market. But the F-150 Hybrid is a completely different story, and that difference is costing owners thousands. This variant has a predicted reliability score of just 47 out of 100, indicating frequent problems that will destroy resale value as issues accumulate after the warranty expires. Hybrid models are generally strong value retainers across the automotive industry. Toyota hybrids hold value exceptionally well. Honda hybrids do fine. Even some domestic hybrids perform adequately. But the F-150 hybrid struggles in ways that surprise buyers who assumed Ford's hybrid technology would be mature and proven. The complexity of the hybrid system combined with mechanical flaws creates an immense liability that the market prices into used values. Hybrid components are expensive to repair outside of warranty. Battery packs, electric motors, power electronics, and the complex control systems that manage everything can cost thousands to diagnose and repair. When reliability is poor, buyers discount heavily to compensate for future repair costs. They're essentially self-insuring against the expected failures, and that insurance comes directly out of the seller's pocket in the form of lower sale prices. Number 7, GMC Sierra 1500. The Sierra loses 38.1% of its value, and it shares every single mechanical risk with the Chevrolet Silverado. These trucks are mechanical twins with different badges and slightly different styling. The 5.3-liter and 6.2-liter V8 engines use GM's dynamic fuel management system, and those complex lifters are prone to catastrophic failure that owners across the country have documented exhaustively. When the lifters fail, they damage the camshaft, and you're looking at total engine replacement costing thousands of dollars at a dealership. This is well documented across owner forums, YouTube videos, and service bulletins. GM owners know about it, independent mechanics know about it, and most importantly, used truck buyers know about it. The information has spread to the point where it's priced into every used GM truck on the market. The used market drastically devalues these trucks to price in the expected repair bill. A truck that might be worth $30,000 without this issue might sell for $25,000 because buyers are mentally setting aside $5,000 for the likely engine work. That's not speculation. That's risk assessment based on documented failure rates, and it's happening across the entire used GM truck market. Number 6. Chevrolet Silverado 1500. The Silverado loses 39.2% of its value, which is slightly worse than its GMC twin, despite being mechanically identical. The trucks share engines, transmissions, platforms, and most components. But the Chevrolet badge carries slightly less prestige than GMC in the market, and that perception drives marginally worse depreciation, even though the actual vehicles are the same underneath the sheet metal. The core problem remains identical. The DFM system is a reliability disaster, and it's accelerating depreciation across GM's entire light-duty truck lineup. The 5.3 and 6.2-liter V8s are affected, which covers the vast majority of Silverados on the road today. This isn't a small subset of trucks or a specific build week. This is widespread across the entire model range and multiple years of production. This isn't a problem that GM can fix retroactively with a software update or a service bulletin. The trucks are already built. The systems are already installed. The failures are already happening to owners across the country. Current owners are stuck watching their values drop as the reputation spreads through the used market and buyers factor the risk into their offers. Number 5. Honda Ridgeline. The Ridgeline loses 42.4% of its value, and the reason is brutally simple. It's not really a truck by traditional definitions, and the truck market punishes that deviation severely. The Ridgeline uses a unibody architecture instead of traditional body-on-frame construction, giving it a car-like ride that Honda intentionally designed into the platform. For Honda, this was a calculated decision. They wanted to create a more comfortable, fuel-efficient truck that appealed to crossover buyers who needed occasional truck capability. The market rejected that vision comprehensively. Traditional truck buyers want body-on-frame construction because it's proven, because it's tougher, and because it's what trucks have always used. They want serious towing capacity that the Ridgeline can't match. They want a truck that looks and feels like a truck, not a crossover with a bed grafted onto the back. The Ridgeline's unique design alienates the core truck buying demographic, and that suppresses its resale value far below segment leaders like the Tacoma and even the Frontier. The Ridgeline has its fans, and those fans are passionate about defending the truck's virtues. But it's a niche product in a mainstream segment, and niche products always pay a depreciation penalty because the pool of potential buyers is small. When it comes time to sell, you're competing against F-150s, Silverados, and Rams that appeal to a much broader audience. Your pool of interested buyers is limited to people who specifically want what the Ridgeline offers, and that limitation translates directly into lower resale values. Number 4. Nissan Armada. The Armada is projected to lose 49% of its value, which is extreme for a full-size SUV, even in a market where full-size SUVs depreciate heavily. But the worst part isn't even reflected in that devastating number yet. Nissan is launching a completely redesigned Armada for 2026 with updated styling, modern technology, fresh interiors, and a platform that's actually competitive with current rivals from GM and Ford. When that redesigned model hits dealerships, every current generation Armada instantly becomes obsolete in the eyes of the market. We're not talking about a minor refresh with new headlights and an updated grille. This is a complete overhaul that will make the current model look and feel dated immediately. The technology gap alone will be enormous, and buyers shopping for used Armadas will compare them directly to the new model and find them wanting. The used market will react instantly and without mercy. Current Armadas that might be worth $40,000 today could drop to $35,000 or less virtually overnight once the new model arrives and direct comparisons start happening. Owners of 2021 through 2024 models are sitting on rapidly depreciating assets, and there's absolutely nothing they can do to stop it or even slow it down. They can't prevent Nissan from launching the new model. They can't upgrade their current Armada to match the new one. They can't change market perception. Number 3. GMC Yukon XL. This is the worst performer of any mainstream SUV in the entire market, with a projected 52% value loss. Let that sink in for a moment. More than half the value gone in 5 years. The Yukon XL combines every negative factor we've discussed into one vehicle. It's a luxury-priced vehicle with high MSRP, meaning depreciation hits in massive dollar amounts that shock owners. It uses GM's problematic V8 engine with the DFM lifter failure issue, creating massive post-warranty repair risk. And it's competing in the full-size luxury SUV segment where depreciation is already brutal even for vehicles without major mechanical issues. A fully loaded Yukon XL can cost over $80,000 when optioned up with the luxury packages that most buyers choose. Losing 52% means owners are watching $40,000 evaporate over 5 years. That's not an abstract percentage. That's a down payment on a house. That's college tuition. That's serious money that simply vanishes as the vehicle ages. The combination of luxury pricing, GM reliability issues, and the luxury warranty cliff creates a financial disaster for original owners who bought these expecting reasonable depreciation. The used market discounts these vehicles heavily because buyers know they're inheriting expensive repair risks on a platform with documented issues. They're buying the risk of DFM failure. They're buying the risk of expensive luxury component failures. They're buying a vehicle that costs more to maintain and repair than standard trucks. Number 2, Ram 1500. The Ram 1500 loses 44% of its value, driven by two major factors that compound each other destructively. First, Ram has a long-standing reputation for poor quality that stretches back years. This isn't speculation or bias. It's documented in reliability surveys from Consumer Reports, J.D. Power initial quality studies, and owner reports across forums and social media. Electrical issues that leave owners stranded, transmission problems that require expensive replacements, build quality concerns that manifest in squeaks, rattles, and component failures. Second, and perhaps more importantly for immediate depreciation, Ram just introduced a completely new engine for 2025. The new Hurricane turbocharged inline-6 replaces the legendary HEMI V8 that defined Ram trucks for years. This is a massive platform shift that represents a complete change in philosophy, and it instantly renders all Hemi-equipped Rams obsolete in the eyes of the market. When manufacturers make major powertrain changes like this, the previous generation takes an immediate and severe hit. The HEMI was Ram's signature engine. It was the engine that Ram buyers wanted, and that defined the brand's identity. Now it's yesterday's technology, replaced by a turbocharged 6-cylinder that represents the future whether buyers like it or not. The market is reacting accordingly, and Ram owners are watching their trucks lose value faster than competitors. Number 1, Nissan Titan. The Titan faces the most severe financial prognosis of any truck on this entire list, and the situation is so bad that it's almost unprecedented in the modern truck market. It's projected to lose 44.2% of its value, which is already terrible. But that number doesn't begin to tell the full story of the catastrophe facing Titan owners. Nissan confirmed that the 2024 model year was the final year for Titan production. The truck is discontinued, dead, gone, removed from future product plans. When an automaker exits a segment entirely, especially the critically important full-size truck segment, it's a signal of complete and total failure to the entire market. Nissan gave up on the full-size truck market after years of trying and failing to compete with Ford, GM, and Ram. That decision guarantees a catastrophic collapse in resale values that will accelerate over the next few years as the reality of discontinuation sets in across the used market. By 2026, the Titan will be viewed as a dead platform by the entire market. No new models, no updates, no support beyond basic parts availability that Nissan is legally required to maintain. Current owners are holding assets that will only decrease in value from here. There's no recovery possible. There's no stabilization point where values flatten out. There's just continued decline as the market moves on and the Titan fades into obscurity. While these 15 trucks are bleeding value, some vehicles are doing the exact opposite. Check out our video on the 10 cars that will skyrocket in value by 2026 to see which models are about to become serious investments before it's too late.